It's probably gonna mute your phone at the beginning, Keith. Hello, I want to thank y'all for coming into another show of Natural is F. I'm your host, Dr. Ferrante Frazier. We got a great show today. I mean, a really great show where we're going to actually show you how to lose 20 pounds in 30 days with a detox program that we designed in our clinic that not only helped me lose the weight that I was, plagued with all my life growing up. I was this big dude. I was 353 pounds with a bunch of different a lot of health issues and stuff like that. I couldn't find anything that would really help me lose the weight until I came into learning about natural hygiene. And from then on, we've used the same format that I use in losing the weight. I've used it in my practice, sharing it with other individuals for how them to lose weight as well. Without the use of medicines, we didn't have to use no diet pills. We don't use any herbs or remedies, anything like that. I have a guest on the show today, which is Mr. Keith. He is using this technique, and we're going to go over it with him where he can and not only with him, we're going to actually, by going it over with him, you're going to learn something in the process. You're going to see how we teach it in our practice. Now, usually the individual is here with me, and Mr. Keith, he's been here to me quite often. He actually lives out of town, but since he's been guided by me doing this, not knowing the actual detox format on his own, but just being guided by me, he lost different pounds at different times. I think sometimes you had got to where you had done lost about 40 or 50 pounds within a certain amount of time. Yeah. And we're just steady going because we're going to get him to his ideal, just like we all can get to our ideal if we follow the format that we are going to share with you today in this show. Like I said, I am not a medical doctor. I am not a psychiatrist or any lawyer or anything like that. So I don't practice those type of things. But I do practice a lifestyle called natural hygiene that will allow you to correct your health issues, provided that you follow some unadulterated principles and concepts, such as fresh air, sunlight, getting the ideal water to drink, staying away from toxic people, keeping the will to live, regular exercise, and getting plenty of rest and sleep. Those are some simple, basic principles. They're mighty if they're practiced and obeyed. They can also cause issues if they are disobeyed. If you don't eat right, don't drink right, don't get plenty of rest, if you're always around toxic people, that can cause issues in your body, mind, and in your spirit, which is a disease or it's uncomfortable. And that's where all our suffering stems from, being out of alignment with these basic principles that we teach in natural hygiene. So I'm not going to keep on talking. We're going to go ahead because this is a lengthy teachings that we're going to teach. Um, Now, most of y'all, I don't think y'all have gotten the book that we're going to be teaching out. We're going to be teaching out of our health format book, but Mr. Keith already had one. He had it for a while now, but we're going to help him go over it. We're going to start off with this detox. It's a detox, and it's also a weight loss and a nutritional plan. Because the thing about it is, if you need to detox your body, you can detox your body using this format. You can lose weight using this format. And if you just need a basic nutrition plan, this is the format for you. So it serves more than just that. Great. Yeah, definitely watch it and share it with as many. Matter of fact, everyone who is up here right now, hit the share button and share with a lot of people. Those who might, have a problem losing weight or just don't know how to go about doing it. Now, there are other things that can be coupled with what we're talking about, because this is just a eating format that we're teaching. There are some other principles that you heard me talk about that also help with speeding along the weight loss process. But just this formation of how you're combining your foods and what are you eating and what times of day you're eating it can very well speed up your metabolism and allow toxins to eliminate out of your body quicker, thus your weight coming down faster. And we're saying 20 and 30. 20 and 30 is the ideal. But most people, when they follow this to the T, they actually lose more than the 20 pounds. And remember, we calling this a detox. Detox, to most people, they believe that there's detox teas, that there's detox foot bath, that there's detox rubs, and all type of other so-called things that so-called can detox the body. But those things actually waste away the body's energy because they're irritating. They irritate the body, that the body gets rid of it and the toxins. But it's an irritation that brings on their detoxification. That meaning that they're wasting away their life force when they use these outside unnatural detoxes. What we're showing you is a natural detox where your body is going to detox itself, thus also saving vital energy at the same time. So you're not compromising your body using the format that we give you. You're compromising your body when you use these outside remedies, detoxes, and things like that, because they are actually destructive to the human body. They don't aid the body. I know we use the word that they're aiding the body in detox, and what they're doing is forcing the body to detox. That forcing is wasting away the body's vitality. It's forcing the body to do something that it wouldn't do normally under the conditions, meaning that the body is tired. So it's not going to drain properly. But when you force the body into action, then that's a waste of vitality. But we're going to start this. Mr. Keith, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, you. I'm
Excellent.
fine.
I'm really glad that you've been sending your pictures to me. letting me see some of the pictures. You kind of was a little off there at the beginning with sending them. I guess you had to get into the habit of sending them again.
Oh yeah.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to talk about, I know one of those pictures that you sent me where you had the mashed potatoes and the cabbage. We're going to talk about that a little bit when we get to the charts, where you're going to see the way you fixed that plate wasn't really, it's great that you was eating in that combination. The combination was great, but your rations were a little off. Like the way that you prepared the plate was not in the great proportion status, in other words, because we didn't see no salad with those meals in the evening. But you remember we were just seeing how you eat right now,
right.
even though I know you're not eating like you eat that you were eating,
right.
But that's good, supervision does bring on accountability, so that's a good thing. All right. All right. So we're going to start off. This is our detox weight loss program. If you look in the book with me, we're going to read the first part of this. And just like I was telling all our viewers, this is the health format that I use to lose the unwanted weight that plagued me so many years. This format even allowed me to have more energy. This is what I was talking about when we were talking about those outside detoxes. They actually drain the body of energy. But our format actually allowed the body to get energy and thus detox its own self. So there's not a wasting of energy. Now, also, you will experience when we go through this detox that there are no medicines, there's no herbs, there's no surgery involved in this detox format. All right. So you don't have to worry about me sending you to go and get surgery cut on or anything like that. You don't have to compromise half your stomach. You don't have to, have, skin taken away from you. I didn't have to go under any type of medicinal or herbal treatment to get my body in the shape that it is in today from where it was out of shape once before. We do have 5 menu charts that you're going to find out in this format. There's 5 menu charts that you can choose from every day. Now, the ones that showed the best improvement was charts A, B, and C. That you got 5 menu charts, which is A, B, C, and D. All right. If you look up under the heading, the menus, go ahead and read that for me.
Say under the menus.
Right, where you see the menus.
There are 5 menu charts in this health format. Each menu represents a 24-hour eating schedule. I allow my clients to choose whichever chart they desire the beginning of each day. The clients who ate from charts A, B, and C showed the greatest improvement. We have some clients that would eat from only one chart the entire 30 days. These clients showed remarkable improvement, especially the ones who only ate menu chart A the whole 30 days.
All right, so here it is. What we're saying here in this format, we got 5 menu charts that you can choose from. You can choose from chart A, you can choose from chart B, you can choose from chart C, D, or F. All right, those are the 5 menu charts that we got. And A is being the greatest chart that you can choose from that's going to give you the best results. All right, Mr. Keith?
Yes.
How many charts there are?
5.
All right, so if you pick a chart, you're going to follow that chart for a whole 24 hours, okay? So if you pick A, you're going to have to follow A for the whole 24 hours, okay? If you choose F, you follow the F chart for the whole 24 hours. Each chart is a 24-hour chart, in other words. Now, is it okay for you to use one chart the whole 30 days?
Yes.
Or you can mix and mingle them.
Right.
It's up to you. But we just ask that you follow each chart for the whole 24 hours. Sounds great?
Great.
You got any questions on that part yet?
No, sir.
So how many menu charts there are?
5.
If I pick a menu chart, how long do I supposed to follow that menu chart?
For that full day, the 24 hours.
Can I use that chart more than just one day? Or can I use it consecutive days?
Correct. You can.
Excellent. Which chart shows the best improvement?
Chart A.
Right. And we're going to get to that where you can understand why that was the best one. When we get to the charts and start going over the charts, you'll see why A is the best chart and F being the actual worst chart. Even though if you follow the F chart, you still will see a detoxification and lose weight and have a good nutritional plan at the end of the day. So all the charts are beneficial. It's just that they're designed as A is going to be the most beneficial one. Okay, here it say there are 7 days in a week, but we only have provide you with 5 menu charts. We did that because we did leave 2 days out just for fasting if you want to fast those 2 days. So we do utilize fasting in our practice. We go to you know about fasting because I supervised some fasts with you where you would fast for a couple of days at a time as well. Am I correct?
Hold on.
I said you've done some fasting before, right? Something happened in your putting it together.
Do not disturb.
Can you hear me though?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hold on. I'm trying to hear y'all. Somebody still called through. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me refresh it.
Yeah, you might have to call back in a minute. But I'm gonna keep on going until he come back in. Probably had a call coming through and probably didn't have it on do not disturb, like it would have been ideal to do. You coming back in now? You back in?
All right. I'm back. It.
So you got the do not disturb now?
Hold on. The audio is messing up on my end.
The audio messing up. Do it have a button where you can hit for audio down there? For allow your mic and your can you hear me? While you getting that together, you let me know when you're ready to hear me. I'm gonna keep on teaching this until you can hear me, okay? I know you can't hear me right now.
If you can hear me, I can hear you. It's just the audio is very slowed down.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just be teaching, and when you're able to chime in, you just chime in, okay?
Okay.
Now, the reason why we have 2 days of fasting is because you can save more energy when you're not eating. It takes a lot of energy to digest food. And the more food you're eating at a meal is going to require more energy. If you remember, I said the way that you detox your body is building up high amounts of energy. That's how we detox the body. We allow the body to conserve a lot of energy from all that excess of eating, the combination of foods that we're eating, all the toxic ingredients that are in that food. Those things tend to wear and waste out the vital energy of the body. And so the body don't have any energy to eliminate out waste and toxins. So these toxins accumulate in our body, thus putting on weight. If our body is, we always bring in stuff in our body and we're never taking stuff out as in trash, then eventually all the trash is going to accumulate in our body. And that trash becomes heavy in our body. It have to be stored in out of the way tissues. So we start, expanding in our legs and our arms and in our waist area because our body have to store this waste somewhere. This is how we're able to get rid of toxins really quick and with our program because we get the energy level back up in the body and let the body pull waste back into the system and throw it out. So you're not losing fat, you're detoxing. You're getting toxins out of the fat. You're getting toxins out of the joints. You're getting toxins out of the waist. You're getting toxins out of all these areas of your body that's been accumulating and hoarding toxins. So you tend to lose the weight real rapidly. Your body start feeling better because those toxins are not inside of our body irritating us, causing us dis-ease. All right, so 2 days of fasting allow for the body to rest a little more, get a little more energy, for it can detox. Now, you don't have to fast uh, to lose weight or to detox the body, but fasting is the fastest way to allow the body to detox. All right. Now, in our program, we start off at lunchtime. We don't eat before 12 o'clock. I often taught my clients to eat after 12 noon the days we were eating. So if we weren't fasting and we were eating, just like me, we're not going to eat before 12 o'clock. All right. Now, that's just my lifestyle now. I pretty much never eat before 12 o'clock noon. Um, I teach my clients and those who follow my teachings to not eat before 12 o'clock. Can you hear me, Mr. Keith? Like you have.
Yeah, you're fine now. You're fine now.
When I tell us, when all my clients, like I was just telling them a few minutes ago, my clients, what time do I tell y'all to eat? I give you the suggestions to eat to follow the way I eat.
Noon.
Noon is our first meal, right?
Right.
And we always, our first meal is very important. I know some people is eating lunch at 12 o'clock noon, but that's actually when we're eating breakfast. That's our first meal, so we call it break fast. We're eating breakfast at the 12 o'clock noon time. I will only allow the first meal to be what? What is our first meal when we're breaking our fast?
Fruit.
Fruit, yeah. It's going to be a fruit. A fruit meal is always the best food to break our fast with. All right, because it's the most easily digestible item. We don't want to start our digestive tract with a big old greasy piece of bacon, big old greasy piece of ham, a greasy sausage, so mixed up grits, cheese, egg, butter. The accustomed breakfast food is one that's draining the body of all this energy. And so the body is that, first of all, is not going to give you the energy that you can have to run the whole day, but also you're damaging your stomach. You're waking your stomach up with a bunch of toxic, greasy, hard food. And we can save more energy and keep toxins out of our body by waking our system up with fruit. Now, a lot of times we tend to eat just a little bit of fruit. When we eat fruit, we'll get a little fruit cup, or and stay away from them fruit cups that's in the store that's got all that juice in there. If it's not fresh fruit that been cut up in the cup, stay away from it. If it's that juice that's been saturated in some high fructose corn syrup, or even some light syrup, or even in its own juices, if it's sitting on the shelf and been sitting there for a while, coming from a distributor manufacturing plant, stay away from those cup fruits. You want something that's been prepared right there in front of you, or has just recently been prepared right there in the grocery store. Those are the fruits that would be more ideal for you to eat. It's even better if you take some whole fruit home and cut it up yourself and eat it. That's going to be the most ideal way to carry food into your body. You're going to get the most maximum vitamins and minerals from that food, and it's going to be less what you call it, oxidation in the food. Oxidation meaning that the food is getting old. As soon as you cut into an apple, it start oxidizing, turning brown and rusty and stuff like that. So that means it's losing all its food value. But when you're eating it whole and fresh, that you cut it up yourself, you notice that I never tell you to get no canned fruit or anything like that, right?
Right. Yes.
You got to go and get you a pineapple and cut that boy up, ain't it?
Yourself.
You got to go get your banana. You got to go get your grapes and stuff like that, and you eat that stuff, straight out of the grocery store, where all the fruits, the fresh fruits and vegetables. I haven't told you to go get no frozen fruit either, is it?
Nope, all fresh.
Right, everything is going to be fresh. That's what is going to be more ideal for human consumption. and to not waste energy. Our whole thing is not to waste energy. The more we conserve energy, the faster our body go through detoxing. It detoxes according to the amount of energy it has to throw away toxins. That's just like if you had a maid cleaning up the house, the more energy she got, the cleaner the house going to be. You know, if you got a lazy maid who don't have no energy, then there's nothing going to be clean. She's going to be half-stepping. She's going to be throwing stuff up under the rug and throwing stuff in the closet. So it's going to become filthy, maggots and all type of other stuff going to appear because she's half doing her job. Same thing with the body. If the body don't have energy to cleanse itself, then you know it's going to be half detoxing. It's going to be throwing some stuff in the joints. It's going to be throwing waste inside the muscle tissue. It's going to be throwing waste inside the fatty tissue. So you're going to have parasites and stuff and different bacteria and stuff growing from the decomposition of the toxins that's in your body. So it's good for us to get these toxins out where they can stop putrefying and rotting, and they can stop irritating us, and they can stop producing all the sufferings and diseases that we have. All right, so it's ideal that we eat our breakfast at what time?
12 or
All right,
noon.
so our first meal of the day is going to be afternoon.
Afternoon.
Right? And it's going to be a juicy fruit. You can eat as much as you want. How much fruit do I tell you? Do I give you a limit on how much fruit you can eat, Mr. Keith?
No limit.
To eat until you what?
You're full.
Right. Eat until you're satisfied. When satiety presents itself, then you have had enough. And usually you'll stop the food to stop the fruit. When you eat fruit will stop tasting good to you when you've had enough. Now, when you first start eating it, man, them grapes taste so good, or that pineapple tastes so good. And then once you have enough, you'll notice that you have no taste for that fruit no more. So it's cut off. Unlike if you was eating oxtails, you can sit there and eat oxtail all day long and oxtails and rice, and it's going to taste the same no matter what. It's going to actually keep you eating. You're going to eat until you feel that uncomfortable feeling in your stomach, that heavy feeling and stuff like that. Well, when you eat fruit, it doesn't allow you to overeat because just like it's in your nature to cut the eating habit off once you've had enough when you're eating fruit. So fruit allows you to be more conservative in your eating and to be able to understand when you've had enough. Whereas those toxic foods that we eat, you know, as you know, a custom SAD diet, we call that the standard American diet. That's the SAD diet, standard American diet, SAD. That's SAD eating. But when we're eating that SAD diet, we tend to overeat because we don't know how to cut it off. We want to save energy so that our bodies can be healthier from the inside out. This is accomplished by having high levels of energy. So we can save more energy if we're eating only from the menu charts where we start off at noontime. All right. And a lot of people call this intermittent fasting, where they go a period of amount of period without eating, so they have a small window. Like they only have a window between like 5-hour window of eating. So they only eat between 12 and 5 o'clock. That's what you consider to be intermittent fasting. Ours is between 12 and 6 because you know your last meal is at what time? 6 o'clock.
6.
Yeah, we're only doing 2 meals a day. So that's where we come to dinner at 6 o'clock. Read that for me right up under the dinner heading.
We usually ate our dinner meal between 6 and 8 p.m. each day that we ate. We never ate dinner before 6 p.m. or after 8 p.m. We need to allow at least 5 hours between our lunch and dinner. This gives each meal ample enough time to fully digest before being pushed out of the way with more incoming food.
All right, so we don't just sit there and eat the whole 5 hours window because we won't allow the food that we're eating to fully digest. When we eat a meal, it requires 5 hours of gastric digestion, meaning that food is going to sit in our stomach for up to 5 hours digesting. And if we eat something in an hour of eating that meal, then we're going to push that food out prematurely. So that food is that we ate an hour ago is going to be undigested going into our small intestine. are going into the next state. Imagine if you was assembling cars and you was on an assembly line, and if you push the car, if it took 5 hours to get the engine in the car before you put the hood on, but you push the cars past the engine, what's the use of putting the hood on if you don't even have the engine in there yet?
Right.
So what's the use of your small intestine digesting food that hasn't even been properly broken down in the stomach yet? So it's just going to sit there and rot in our digestive tracts, cause us to have the diarrhea where we're flushing these waste materials out of our body. We're going to have the grumbling in our belly. We're going to have the bloating going on because all the while this food is not digesting, it's rotting inside of us. So it's ideal that we give the 5 hour window of digestion for each meal. That's why we eat our first meal at 12 o'clock and we eat our second meal at what time? 6 o'clock, right?
6, right.
The reason why 6 is because if you're eating at 12, you usually don't get finished until around about 12:30 or 1, depending on your window. So you'll wait 5 hours after that, which will put you at 6 o'clock. We always tell them not to eat after what time? 8 o'clock, right?
8, yeah.
Try not to eat after 8 o'clock unless you got some other so-called specific thing that's going on. I will tell you to get with me and let me modify the program to fit your needs. But when we eat dinner, depending on the chart that we got, when we ate from the ABC chart, it's really simple. But when we ate from the D chart, and let's go to the charts a little bit. And we're going to come back to the other stuff. But let's go to the charts. Let's go to menu chart A. And the chart really already been described in what we were talking about. So it's not, it's good to have the book in front of you. If you can kind of see a little bit. These are the menu charts. This is menu chart A, and this is menu chart B over here. It's really simple. It's just a little reading in there. It's not actually a chart where you can see what colors and different things like that. It's just giving you a format of how you should structure your day in the way you're eating. So we don't eat breakfast, right? We never eat breakfast early in the morning. We don't snack before 12 o'clock. When we do eat, we eat at lunchtime, which is at 12 p.m. That'll be our breakfast. And when we ate breakfast on the A chart, it was just a fruit. And when we ate dinner on the A chart, it was just a fruit. So the A chart is only fruit, and it's just one fruit. You pick one fruit. This is the most ideal way of eating. You eat one fruit at your breakfast meal, and you eat one fruit at your dinner meal. Now, it's not eating just one banana at your breakfast meal. You can eat 10 bananas if you want it. It's just that it's that one type of fruit that you're eating at breakfast time. And at dinner time, you can pick a whole nother fruit, but just that one fruit, and you eat it until you are satisfied. This is what you call mono dieting or mono eating. The thing about it is most people who do this or people find that this is not ideal for them is because they tend to just stick with one fruit. They eat one fruit, try to eat that for months and months on end. But you can get deficiencies from that and suffer problems because you need to mix it. We have a whole bunch of fruits out here in the world. I mean, when you go in the fruit market, just in the store, and they don't even hit on the amount of different fruits that we have available in this world. But we can change up fruit every day and don't eat the same fruit for at least 2 weeks. Whereas we eating chicken, fish, that's with chicken, fish, beef, and hog. Them 4 meats is the only meats that we got, and we eat them just by every day almost. Those are the things that we should be tired of. We shouldn't get tired of apples when we got 10 different apples that we can get out of the store. We shouldn't get tired of oranges. We got 10 different oranges that we can get, even tangerines that we can supplement. We got different types of watermelons. We got different types of plums. We got different types of pomegranates. We got different types of pears. We got different types of peaches. We got different types of these fruits that we can sit there and eat and enjoy ourselves. But when we pick one and we eat that, and then the next meal we pick one and we eat that, and so on. This is going to give you the best digestion because, first of all, your stomach have to conform itself or prepare itself for whatever you're eating. If you eat one food item, the stomach can adjust itself to that one food. It can adjust itself to that one apple. But when you eat an apple and a pear, it got to adjust itself to the apple and then to the pear. And if those two are not compatible with each other, then there's a discrepancy in the stomach. But now, an apple and a pear are compatible. So I was just using that as an example. But you can eat both of them, and the stomach can digest both of those with ease. But I'll give you an example of one that is not in great compatibility. A banana and a pineapple. A banana is a sweet fruit, and a pineapple is an acidic fruit. One is alkaline in nature, and one is acidic in nature. When you eat them at the same time, the stomach have to either create an acidic environment or alkaline environment, meaning that it have to adjust itself to the alkaline food or adjust itself to the acidic food. If it adjusts itself to the acidic food, then the alkaline food is just going to be sitting there, and food just can't just sit out. If you can't sit food just out in your kitchen, what makes you think it can just sit in your stomach for hours and hours on end before it start rotting? And think about it, the food that sits on your counter, it hasn't been chewed up and all type of stuff like that. So once you start chewing it up, it tends to rot even quicker. A whole banana takes longer to break down than when you cut it into really small pieces. So what is smaller than you chewing it up and got a mush going down in your stomach? So that food rots rapidly. That's why it's a lot of times when you're eating foods, you're belching as soon as you eat it. You're
Right.
belching up gas and all type of stuff because that food is rotting and producing gases. So our menu chart A is a really good way to get the best digestion. But what we're going to do now is we're going to fast forward since we got probably about 23 more minutes here. We're going to go ahead and give the D and F chart because most people, they might not be ready for that A chart yet. That's what you call fruitarian eating. Now you can mix your foods, your fruits together and stuff like that, but that'll be other charts. But the A chart is going to give you the best digestion. Remember, we said those who benefited from this program benefited from eating this format. And some people think that they're hungry by just eating fruit. I'll be hungry if I just sit there and eat bananas. Or I'll be hungry if I just sit there and eat a watermelon and stuff like that. But if you eat enough at the meal, it will carry you to the next meal. Hunger is just a cry for nutrients and sugar and water. That's what true hunger is. It's a cry for sugar, nutrients, and water. And you get that from fruit. When you eat enough of it, you satisfy your water intake because most fruits are 90 to 100, almost 99% water. Your oranges, your pineapple, your watermelon, so you satisfy your need for fluid when you eat fresh fruits. You satisfy your sugar because they are high in fructose, and you satisfy your need for vitamins and minerals because they are jam-packed with vitamins and minerals. This is where a lot of people take their supplements from, the fruit itself. They make supplements out of fruits because they are high in vitamins and minerals. So you satisfy hunger when you eat enough of the fruit. So you got to make sure you eat enough, right?
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna get you to do the A chart tomorrow.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna be back on it. Yep, I'm gonna do
All
the A
right.
chart.
What I'm about to go over now is the D and the F chart for those who are not ready for that just yet.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten you past that. So we know you don't have to worry about the D and F chart. But if you do, well, actually, you did the D chart the other day. You just
Mm-hmm.
modified it to your own self. So you didn't follow the format properly, but you did use the combination properly. So let me teach them a little bit about that. Now, I'm going to go back just a little bit to the dinner meal and explain something real quick. Listen up. Listen to me for a minute as I read this part to you.
Okay.
We usually ate our dinner meal between 6 and 8 p.m. the day that we ate. All right. When we ate from menu chart D and F, 50% of our meal. Now imagine that a plate, and you cut that plate in half. 50% of that plate was a raw, fresh salad without any dressing or oil or vinegar on it. So half our meal was always a big raw salad when we ate from the D chart. So the D chart breakfast always going to be fruit, no matter what chart you pick, A, B, C, D, or F. For breakfast, it's always going to be fruit. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But when it comes to dinner time, those who just don't want to eat just fruit to lose weight or to detox, then I'm showing you how to eat a carbohydrate diet from the D chart, or how to eat a protein diet from the F chart. The D chart is a carbohydrate chart. The F chart is a protein chart. It shows you how, D chart shows you how to eat your rice, how to eat your potatoes, how to eat your pasta, how to eat your bread. The protein chart shows you how to eat your fish, how to eat your chicken, how to eat your beef, how to eat your pork. All right. So but if you notice though, when you're eating protein, you're not eating carbohydrates. When you're eating carbohydrates, you're not eating protein. It's never a chart that allows you to eat a sandwich, a pizza, spaghetti, or the spaghetti with meat. In other words, you can do a spaghetti without meat. You can do it with vegetables, vegetarian spaghetti. You can throw some vegetables in there, broccoli and different things like that into your noodles and stuff, and make a dish out of it. The ideal is to eat wholesome foods and to eat them in the right combination. So when you're eating the D chart, you're going to get half your plate is going to be a large raw salad. Now the salad usually consisted of lettuce, cucumbers, bell peppers, and celery. Another 25% of the meal or the plate would be lightly steamed vegetables. So if you got a plate, let's say that you got a plate. I'm just going to use this book. All right. Say that you got a plate. Half that plate is going to be a raw salad, and then you're going to cut the other half in half, which is going to give you 25% and 25%. So 25, 25, and then half. Half is the raw salad. 25 is going to be the raw, not raw, lightly steamed vegetables. And then the other 25% is going to be your carb. It can be bread, it can be rice, it can be potato, it can be pasta. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do where you're gonna have a half a plate raw salad and a half a plate of spaghetti, vegetable spaghetti. So half vegetable spaghetti and a raw salad. That's the meal. It can be a nice size plate. It doesn't matter. Long as you eat in that ratio and eat, and when satiety present itself, because satiety is going to present itself because you got some raw food there. And matter of fact, the raw food is half of the plate is your raw food. All right. So the D chart allows you to eat carbohydrates. The F chart allows you to eat protein. I'm going to give you a better way for those who don't have the menu charts in the book. I'm going to show you how to remember this and lock it in your head. All right. So if you're going to eat, you're going to wait till 12 o'clock to eat breakfast. At breakfast, you're going to break fast at 12 o'clock, and it's going to be fruit. All right. At dinner time, between 6 and 8, you're going to do a big raw salad, a steamed vegetable, plus one other item. Plus one other item. That one other item can't be like a casserole or a mixture of different items. It got to be one item. Like you got to do a baked fish. You got to do a salad, some asparagus, and a baked fish. You got to do salad, Brussels sprouts, and a baked chicken. And you prefer to have your food baked or broiled, or boiled, something like that. No deep frying or anything like that. Try to stay away from fried food, period, on this. The whole thing is to keep fat, concentrated fats out of your diet. All right. So that's that in a nutshell with the diet. If you want to get this is the detox. You're going to follow that for a whole 30 days, where you're getting up in the morning, and this is changing your habits. If you were in the habit of eating at 7 o'clock in the morning, you're going to conserve all that energy. You're going to notice that you're going to have better bowel movements. You're going to be getting toxins out of your body better. You're going to notice that your urination is going to be even more better. I do want to share something else with you on that. We still got a little time here. How many times? Okay, what is the drink that we allowed to drink on this detox?
Distilled water.
Distilled water. So water is the only thing that we allow to be drunk on this detox, and that's distilled water. Now, when do you drink with this meal?
You would drink the water before 12. I think it's what, 8, 10, 4 o'clock?
So yes, you drink in between the meals. You don't
In
drink.
between.
You drink in
Yeah.
between the meals. You start off drinking. Let's say you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You can start drinking at 7 o'clock and stop drinking. If you're going to eat at 12, you stop all drinking at 11:30. So you want to wait at anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. You want to drink 15 to 30 minutes prior to your meal, but you stop all drinking when your meal come up. Now you're not going to need any drinking the water with a bunch of bananas or a bunch of oranges or pineapples anyhow. So that's not going to be an issue with breakfast. Now, when if you stop eating at 1 o'clock, you'll start back drinking at 3 o'clock, and then you're going to have another meal at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, that's when you want to make sure that you're not drinking after 5:30. All right, and then you have your 6 o'clock meal. All right, just chew your food properly. If you eat that raw salad is full of water as well, so it's going to hydrate you, and you're going to notice that your thirst is not going to be there because you're eating your food in the right combination. You're going to notice that you're not really thirsty like if you were bolting down your food with the regular haphazard dry biscuits and all type of stuff like that with meat and all these savory gravies and all type of stuff like that. That's what makes you thirsty. That stuff irritates. Your body needs fluid to deal with all that irritation. So when you eat in this manner, you're going to get full because you're eating a big plate of food. The salad can be as huge as you want it, and then you can complement it. The salad is going to be your main dish if you look at it, and your sides are going to be the meat and the steamed vegetable, or the rice and the steamed vegetable. So you can do a big salad, and you can do some rice and some okra, some rice and some lima beans. Not lima beans, don't use beans. Use string beans. That's what I meant to say, string beans. So rice and string beans are baked potato and broccoli. Brussels sprouts and some maybe some rice or something like that in that manner. Those are just some little suggestions that we have there. But if you eat in this format, if you follow it, you will see a big difference in your weight loss. We did a challenge like this on Facebook where I taught a lot of my followers on Facebook to follow this format. We did it. And I told people to post their weight loss every day. They were losing a pound or so a day. Every time they got on the scale, they was a pound. They woke up a pound lighter or 2 pounds lighter here by just changing their format of eating. And that big thing was not eating protein with carbs. Now, why does that work, you say? If you look at it, why do you think the keto diet works? Because it takes out carbs. And it don't really work. It's a whole thing about that I'll have a show on where it tells you to stay away from that keto diet. But it's a high protein diet. But the only reason why it appeared to work is because you're not combining carbohydrates with the meal. It's a low carb diet. So you're pretty much eating the F chart when you're doing the keto diet. It's just that I'm showing you how to eat your meat where it doesn't harm your body like the keto diet will harm your body. It'll break your liver down, cause you to have all type of issues with your body. But if you notice that the high carb diet doesn't have any protein in it. So that's why both those diets tend to work, because they're eliminating the issue of the bad combination of eating meat and bread together, eating meat and potatoes together, eating meat and pasta together. And if you notice that the standard American diet, the SAD diet, pretty much ain't nothing but meat and potatoes. Carb and protein diet. We got the sandwiches. We got the hot dogs. We got the hamburger. We got the pasta and meat. We got the lasagna. We got the steak and potatoes. Everything is a carb and meat combination that we put with our meals. We always with the turkey wings and rice with gravy. We with our oxtails and rice and gravy. Everything is with rice and gravy. Definitely from the Chinese, but they gonna rice you to death. But I want to share that with you to make sure that you understand that wait at least 2 hours after your meal to drink again. Every meal that you do, the 2 meals that you do in a day, wait 2 hours after that. The reason being is you give the enzymes that break your food down are water soluble, meaning that they dilute in water. And water only stays in your stomach for 10 to 15 minutes. That's why we're telling you stop drinking and allow the water to leave your stomach before you eat a meal, because we don't want that water in your stomach diluting the enzymes that supposed to break down your food. Enzymes are the digestive juices that rip your food apart. But if they're weak and diluted, then they can't do their job in digesting the food properly. And they're actually going to go out of your stomach when the water goes out of your stomach. So there's not going to be anything in your stomach to digest that food. And that food is going to sit there. You're going to be belching. You're going to have the aches and pains in your stomach from the bloating of the gases. You're going to have the diarrhea. You're going to be storing the toxins, putting on weight because your food is not digested. It doesn't matter how much food we eat. It doesn't even matter how healthy the food we eat. If that food is not digested, it becomes poison in our body. It becomes toxic and it does no good in our body. So the ideal thing is to eat in a way that your food can be digested and then absorbed into the body and then assimilated into flesh, bones, and tissue. This is how we build ourselves. Now, no snacking, right? We don't do no snacking, right, Mr. Keith?
No snacking.
Why no snacking is because it's going to interfere with the 5-hour digestion. If we snack in between our meals, then we're going to violate the 5-hour digestion in the stomach. We're going to push food along too quick. All right. And we got to give our stomach a chance to rest and prepare for the next meal. Seasonings are irritating, Mr. Keith. You be dumping all that salt and pepper and all that adobe and all that other stuff all over your food. They're irritating, and they actually mask the food that's going down. You wouldn't really eat a lot of the food had you not had salt. If salt was to leave the earth today, if pepper, if adobe, and all the other blend of mixes and spices was to disappear off the face of the earth, mankind would be eating only fruit, because it's the only thing that have taste to it. We won't eat the backbone of a cow, calling it steak. We won't like it. We won't eat all these other foods that require you to cook it and season it down and butter it down and all type of other stuff. So if you can cut back on those things until you can do without it, you can taste food in its delicacy. Matter of fact, you'll be able to taste the sweetness of Brussels sprouts, the nutty flavor in it, when you and don't have to season it down and oil it down and all type of stuff like that when you cleanse your palate. Our palates are dull from overusing these things for all our life, in other words. So it's all about cleaning up our taste buds that we can taste the naturalness in foods. And the way we do that is by cutting back on that stuff. Mm-hmm. We're really addicted, and we can tolerate huge amounts of salt, huge amounts of black pepper, because we have been using it all our life. So let's try to cut back on that as much as possible, and that will cut back on our need for water too. All that salt requires water. That salt, you eat a bag of chips, you want to drink. That's too much salt on that stuff. You know what I mean? So even in your foods, if you know the salt is a protoplasmic poison too. We're going to finish up here. I hope you understand what I was talking about here, Mr. Keith. We got how many charts?
5.
Those who listening, we got 5 charts. We got A, B, C, D, and F. A, B, and C are fruit charts. You just eat fruit for 12 o'clock breakfast and for your 6 o'clock dinner. Don't drink with the meal. Our D and F chart. D is a carbohydrate chart, right?
Right.
You see the problem with your meal the other day when you had the mashed potatoes and the cabbage. That's a good combination. You just missed the what? The salad.
Yeah.
You're just missing the salad. Had you salad with that, great. You know what I mean? You gotta always eat something living. If you're eating something living with the food, then that meal is worth something. If all your food is dead and cooked with the meal, that is a useless meal. It's just there to waste energy. The body cannot make use of it. So with everything, put some type of raw something with it. If it's just a cucumber, just cut you up a cucumber with the meal. If you just throw some lettuce there, a little spinach there, whatever, have something living with the meal. All right. We're going to have a show where we're going to be talking about this soon, where we're going to be talking about cooking the food and where we can get ourselves off cooked food. Because think about it, man had to live a long time before the cooking art came. But I want to thank you so much, Mr. Keith. We're going to bring you back in 30 days now. So you're going to tell us how much weight you lost in the next 30 days. I wish we had a scale where we could have let our viewers see it right now, where they can see and then put you on the scale when you come back in 30 days. So you're going to be the talk person to let these people know they need to follow this program to lose 20 pounds in 30 days, all right?
Okay.
I know you usually do it in a week when you put your mind to it. So,
I can.
So I'm looking forward to that, your success in this, and I want to thank all our listeners who tune in to this episode of Natural is Health. This is your host, Dr. Ferrante Frazier, your hygienic coach, and I'm going to be coaching you into health. I tell you I love you as I always do. Thank you, Mr. Keith. Best of health. I'll see y'all next week.
All right.